Monday evening until Tuesday morning. I'm going to go over everything that I traded today, and we'll start from Monday around 5 o'clock as usual. Between 4 to 6 is when I'll do my levels. And this day I got them a little late, but that's fine. So above we have this macro level that has been resistance. We sold through it eventually once overnight on Monday, and then since then on Monday afternoon we hit it twice, as you can see, and rejected, and then a third time Monday evening last night. So from there, if we had reclaimed it, that was a potential long. I deleted the note here, but that was a long. Since we sold from there was not much to do. A failed breakdown of this right here was something of interest. However, we didn't get that, so we kept on selling. At 8:30 last night, we tagged this level up below 14,817, and we did not quite lose that low. So unfortunately, it was not a failed breakdown. However, if you trusted the level, you could have went long directly. I did not take that long just because I was hoping for a proper failed breakdown of this low. The next setup above would have been a failed breakdown of this low. This is about 14,937, and let's call it 1494. This right here is about 1496, so about 2 points up. So I would probably want to see price just go up somewhere around here, around 2-3 points, to give me a little cushion to enter. So this is how I would approach this. You can see at 9 o'clock we pushed through it and triggered it. At 9:30 we triggered it for real. The first time you want to be patient, let it come back down or go above and then retest the trigger from above. We got the ideal setup here where we pushed through the level, came back, and then started going back up. Triggered at 9:30. You could have gone long there. Stop loss below the lowest low would have been right here, and that worked out tremendously. You were able to go up to the next level, take your profits more up here. We did get that reclaim of this level here that paid out overnight. The first long right here would have been enough for profit take. Hold your position if you want, and then the real profit take was all the way up here. Then we sold from this level. Now this level has clearly been resistance as well. We pushed through once, had a failed breakout, the opposite of a failed breakdown up here, and then we rejected from there. This would be considered the back test, and that was a great back test, short, because clearly we sold a long way down. So then I woke up around 5:36, and I saw we were just kind of chopping around this level, consolidating. Not much for me to do here. If we happen to push through this level with strength, I would have considered possibly a long, but realistically, I noticed that we tested the level below 3 times, and there was an active failed breakdown that had already taken place of this low right here. So at this point, I'm just waiting to see if we can flush all the way down. One thing I noted is since this level was tested 3 times, one could have just drawn a general level of trend line, I would say, of what you would want to see get lost. You can see here tested it one time more here, and then we lost it at 8 a.m. So that would have been a short if you're into shorting, potentially. Not my ideal thing to do. So I waited for the failed breakdown of this low at this point. We bounced here once. I waited for the flush. If that wasn't going to happen, I would have taken the failed breakdown of this cluster of lows. We eventually did get a failed breakdown that I was looking for. As you can see, this is the low. We dipped below it. We had another low to work with here. So ideally, just to be safe, I want it to be not only a couple points above this low, but a couple points above this low. So this low is about 1461. So just somewhere a couple points above. So you can see we triggered above that right away at 9 a.m., but just not to rush. I waited a little longer. I saw we consolidated 15 minutes more around that trigger, so there was some demand. I went long right here. I went long before this dip in recovery, but this dip in recovery after, not necessarily that it's a dip in recovery of the setup because of that happened. Just my point is, we triggered and then we pulled back. So this pullback is ideal when you want to go long But if you feel like you trust the setup and you want to go for it, then it's not a wrong thing potentially. Just because this snapback where we went below and recovered right away was very bullish. So, anyways, long story short, this played out great, level to level. Second entry at 10 a.m. and that went up another 25 plus points. Now we're selling back down. I do have a runner that is has a stop loss below this low, letting that work. Let's see if we lose this low. If we do, a lot of these levels are a little unclear, so I'd be looking for ideally some type of uh, dip in recovery below. If not, then at least a direct tag and then some consolidation above. And if that's not happening, then I'd probably just want to take a failed breakdown of this 9 a.m. low. So I'm not trusting the level directs just because we've been selling a little bit, and I want to take a more uh, a better setup in general. So let's see if that works out. Real quick on ES, we had a reclaim setup of 51.87. One can clearly see we triggered at 345. What you want after is pullback and then a push through. Got a second trigger at 6 p.m. Now my eyes are locked in, and then we sold and see how we came right back to the level at 6:30. Now I'm just looking for a push above. So around 7:30, 8 o'clock, 7:45ish, you can go long, and that has paid tremendously. Up here would have been a back test. Clearly we broke down from here. We back tested it, and the back test short worked. Now that becomes a reclaim if we can push through again, and that we did. So let's see what we can do for the rest of the day. We're still pushing up. It's very tough to go long now. I wouldn't go long unless maybe we got a failed breakdown of this low that's happening. Otherwise, somewhere down here is the only option really realistically.